Want to grow juicy strawberries without a garden? Try these 5 easy tips. Tip number 4 will blow your mind. We all love strawberries, but not all of us have space for a garden. That said, if you have a balcony, a windowsill, or even some table space, you too can grow strawberries year-round. Tip number 1, pick the right container. First up, choose a container that's wide and at least a few inches deep. Strawberries don't need much depth, but they do need good drainage. Check for drain holes and a saucer to catch any extra water. This setup keeps roots healthy and happy. Once you have figured out what type of container you want to use, we need to fill the container with soil. Tip number 2, use acidic soil. Strawberries love acidic soil. Look for a peat-based soil or make your own mix. 1 part peat, 1 part compost, a cup of kelp meal, a 1/4 cup of azomite, a cup of biochar, and a 1/4 cup of worm castings. This nutrient-dense blend gives your strawberries a great start. If you'd rather keep it simple, just grab a high-quality seed starter mix from your local garden store. Tip number 3, seeds or starts. Speaking of seed, do you want to grow your strawberries from seeds or starts? If you grow your strawberries from seeds, you will need to fertilize the seeds. That's a fancy way of saying it means you have to break their dormancy. This requires you to refrigerate the seed for around 4 weeks. This will ensure that the strawberry plants grown from seed will produce fruit in their first year of life. Plant the seeds about a 1/2 inch down, but don't cover with soil. The seeds actually need light to germinate. By placing the seed into indentations, the seeds retain more moisture because of the humidity that the indentation creates. After 4 weeks, you should have seedlings ready to transplant into larger containers. If patience isn't your thing, which it's not mine, I'm not a patient man, go for starts or runners, which actually grow much faster. These runners, just like the seedlings or starts you can order or buy, have a well-established root system and will produce fruit much faster than growing from seed. You should also be sure to order an ever-bearing variety. An ever-bearing variety produces fruit from spring all the way into the fall. You can also get a day-neutral strawberry variety, which is excellent for growing indoors, as they will produce throughout the entire year so long as temperatures are neither too cold, too warm, and they need to receive light more than 8 hours per day. These are all controllable right there in your home. This next tip is going to surprise you. Once you have your strawberry starts planted and established, be sure to water often, at least 1 inch of water per week. You want the soil to be slightly spongy, but not waterlogged and muddy. So at this point, you should start feeding your strawberry plants. What do strawberry plants eat, Taco? Well, some folks use store-bought fertilizer, but this is what I use instead. And the best part is that you can get what I use in any grocery store. Tip number 4. Here is the game changer. Homemade fertilizer. Mix 1 tablespoon of yeast, 1 liter of water, and 1 tablespoon of molasses. Let it sit for 24 hours. Then you're going to dilute it at a 1:5 ratio. That's 1 part fertilizer to 5 parts water, or 1 cup of fertilizer to 5 cups of water. Pour about 1/2 liter of this mix per plant every couple of weeks. This nutrient boost provides essential vitamins and minerals to maximize your growth. Once you start seeing blooms, it is time to get out your paintbrush. Start self-pollinating the flowers by touching the flowers with a wet paintbrush. Tip number 5, pollinate and prune. While strawberries are in fact self-pollinating outdoors, indoors you will not have the same conditions that allow for pollination, such as a beehive. I hope you don't have one of those inside your home. When you see flowers, it is time to pollinate. Use a soft, damp paintbrush to gently touch each flower. This encourages the pollination for fruiting indoors. Also, do what's called deadheading your old blooms. That means remove all your old blooms, and this encourages the plant to produce more blooms. This simple step alone will keep your plant focused on more fruit production. Enjoy sweet, homegrown strawberries right from your windowsill or balcony.